Hi guys, James from DBG here and welcome to another Wobble Cam Spectacular. This time this is what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks, and I have to say some of it has been incredibly enjoyable and fun. Other parts of it have been an absolute nightmare, and we'll discuss that later on in the video. But first of all, what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at a absolute fully focused in and proper video right now. Sorry, an absolute butt-to-ton of 15mm Team Yankee French. That's right, World War III, what if French. And yeah, it's been interesting trying to source the colours out of my selection of colours without having to buy any new ones, and I've actually been quite successful. Doing miniatures that I have never ever done before in my entire life, because all the modern era stuff I've done in the past have been model kits of aircraft or mainly aircraft and helicopters, because I don't really like modern tanks. I don't know why. I've just had more of an affinity with the World War II and a little bit after era of tanks. Anyway, so yeah, this has been an absolutely brand spanking new, I'm not even going to say challenge because it was actually quite enjoyable for me. But anyway, so what have we got? I don't know how many points this is, but what have we got? So first of all, at the back, we have some mobile artillery pieces based on the chassis of the AMX-30, which is the French main battle tank. Down here we have 12 or 3 platoons of AMX-10s reconnaissance vehicles. Now they are, I've got an idea, 6-wheeled. Apparently they're incredibly fast, incredibly lightly armoured, but they have a massive gun. I believe it may even be an autoloader, which is what the French like to do. And down here we have a flight of 4 Mirage Strike fighters. They are armed with bombs and I believe they have 2 30mm cannon. Ignore the rotor blades, they're just there for photos. But I have to say that the decals, of which you can almost see, focus, took longer to put on the 4 of these aircraft than they did to actually paint the bloody aircraft, including the recess work that I did on all the panel lines. That is how fiddly and annoying these decals were, because you had to put, see that blue dot in the middle of the French roundel? That was separate. You had to put that in, or put that on individually. That's probably why everything took so bloody long. And they were, I have to say, the worst Battlefront decals I've ever had to use. Normally Battlefront decals are really well. They work really well, they go on really well, as long as you do what you normally do with decals, and that's gloss the area, put the decal on, do your microcell, and then varnish them back over. Should be fine. But for some reason they were an absolute pig. Anyway, starting from the back, we have a platoon of VAB wheeled, they're 4-wheeled French transports, and they have missiles and 50 cals. And then we have a Milan section, which is an anti-tank section, and these guys break off and are attached to other infantry sections, or they have a smaller section of their own. Then we have first of the infantry platoon. There is another infantry platoon incoming, but it's got to come from Battlefront direct, and it's going to take a bit of a while to get here. But there's an infantry platoon, and they are armed with that lovely looking French bullpup assault rifle, the FAMAS, with the standard, I think they do use the GMGP support machine gun, and they have 2 types of anti-tank rocket launcher, and they have, I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to find one, but they have this sort of lozenge cucumber type thing that goes on the end of their assault rifles. There you go, there's one there. Right there. And it's an anti-tank grenade. Yeah, very weird.
Hang on, what was the pregnancy test?
Sorry, I had to have a conversation with my wife about her conversation. It was rather loud. Anyway, then we have 2 Gazelles, and they are armed with 20mm cannon. And then we go over here, there's another infantry platoon, exactly the same. Then we have another flight of 2 Gazelles, this time they're armed with TOW missile launchers. Now TOW stands for Tube Launched, Optically Tracked, Wire Guided, I believe. And then here we have the AMX-30 main battle tank. This is the tank commander. And you can tell it's a tank commander because it's the only tank with a name. The tank is El Alamein, which, if you didn't know, the Free French were actually at El Alamein and they did a fantastic job. And then we have 3 platoons of 4 AMX-30s, main battle tanks, with their main gun, which I believe is 120mm, it could be 105mm. I don't know enough about French equipment. The coaxial gun there is actually another 20mm cannon, and then they have a commander or gunner operated, remotely controlled 7.62 machine gun in the commander's cupola there. Now, if you've noticed, which was quite hard considering I don't have an airbrush, pretty much every tank, every armoured vehicle, every helicopter, every aircraft has exactly the same camouflage pattern. And that is because, purely for spare parts and armoured plates and stuff like that. So they're manufactured, they're painted up, and then you can just swap these panels over and you know straight away it's going to match the camouflage because it's all pre-painted and everything's the same shape and the same schemes, so nothing is out of miss, so you don't get mismatched camo, etc, etc. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. As I said, it was much fun. So as usual, guys, do check out the links in the description. I believe they have been changed, or they may not have been. But Goblin Gaming is down there, and Patreon, and all the other ones that we normally do. All the oh, excuse me, sorry. All the usual social media stuff is there as well. And as usual, thank you guys for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys next time.